Merry Christmas, I'm Ikkcicle, and in this video I'm going to transform this boring block of snow into a wonderful Christmas retreat. So to start with, I'm going to plant a few trees on the outside. They look absolutely hideous, but don't worry, this place is going to look beautiful soon. I'm also going to put some of those berries down, but they require dirt. Once they're placed, I'm going to start raising the ground a little bit. I think the house needs to be raised up a bit. I found an inspiration picture of a gingerbread house. My intention was to make a gingerbread house, but there isn't really any gingerbread blocks. So I'm going to build the whole place out of mud blocks, in the hopes that you'll believe it's gingerbread, because it is. You can eat it, maybe. Once I've raised the dirt a little bit, I'm going to add another layer of snow, and then I'm going to start working on the house itself. I've decided to use mud bricks for this because I'm trying to go for a gingerbread house. But it's not really gingerbread, it's mud. I also have to decide on what kind of flooring to use, so I'm going to use some spruce blocks because there's some dirty spruce trees just outside. That looks quite nice. Now I'm going to start raising the walls a little bit and building up the exterior of the house. I want it to be in two parts, just like in the inspiration picture. There's a standard front of the house, and then at the back it's raised a little bit more, or at least the roof is. Right now I'm trying to decide on what areas I need for the house to look good. I think at the minute it's a little bit too tall. It does look pretty good, but I'm going to start trying to apply the roof in a second. Check out my wonderful Christmas hat, by the way. I found that. It's like an extra mod thing for Christmas hats. It's a carved pumpkin, actually, that somebody's decided to make a lovely Christmas hat. And that's perfect for Christmas and this build. The ground is about 20 blocks by 20 blocks. It's not too much space to work with. I like having some kind of constraints to my build. It makes it a bit more challenging. If you've got all the space in the world and all of the blocks and everything, it's very, very easy to get carried away with a massive construction. And before you know it, you've created a mansion. And I don't want to make a mansion. I want to make a small cottage thing. The roof's going on nicely now, but to be honest, it is too big, so I'm going to edit that. I found roofs very difficult to build in Minecraft, and with the Macaw's roof mod that I'm using, it makes it a little bit easier to have nice slanted roofs, but you can get carried away with making it too tall. And at the cost of the space inside, I sometimes make the roof a little bit lower, just so it doesn't look like an imposing structure. This is supposed to be a comfortable cottage. I kind of wanted to make this with concrete or maybe wood, but I feel that this stone block does look a little bit bready. Let me know in the comments if this looks like a gingerbread house, because I'm not sure it does. But I'm not bothered. Once it's finished, you'll be impressed at how decent this looks. I'm quite happy with the final result. For now though, I'm just trying to build those slanted roof parts in, and it's actually quite easy. Some of them interlock and it looks quite nice. I'm going to build these side pieces and you can see how they interlock, look. They look really decent. I like that little overhang too. And then with the addition of the bit at the top, it's a perfect roof. At the minute though, I'm trying to change bits up. It's not exactly right. It's not how I want it to be, at least. Some of the parts need to be a little bit different, and I want it a little bit taller at the back, just like in the inspiration picture. The shape of the house is starting to come on. I feel that the back part of the house is perhaps a little bit too small, but I'll change that in a minute. Now I'm going to start poking in the windows. I want to make sure it has lots of natural light coming in, even though there's not going to be much light coming in eventually because there's going to be so many trees. This is a winter wonderland that I'm building here. Notice those snow piles I put at the side as well. I don't want to have too much exposed dirt. It looks a bit too unclean, so I want to clean that. Although saying that, I do want to have a little bit of dirt showing, because it is built on a dirt and snow base. Now that the house is fully sized, I'm going to start working on putting the window frames in and making sure that everything fits to specification. The specification being what I think it should look like. In the house, I'm going to have a couple of simple lights, and I'll work on the decor of the house in a bit. I don't want to work on that now, that's not my main focus. And then I'm also going to add some of these lights on sticks. I don't know why, but I think they look really cool. They're a little bit difficult to edit, but I use the green gourd and the GUI tool from the Yuushya Mod. That really helps the process because I can resize the assets. The first lantern thing looks really good, so what I do is copy the layout and paste it using the GUI tool. Now that those two lanterns are in, I quickly go around the back and add some windows for the rest of the house. I'm going to split that into two rooms, a simple bedroom and a really cozy lounge space. I'm not going to go into too many details for the inside of this house. There's no kitchen and there's no bathroom. It's Christmas, we don't do those things. We literally just watch TV and open presents. On the top of the house, I want to have a nice little chimney as well. To be honest, I'm going to change that to be a red and white one in a bit. It looks a lot more Christmassy with a red and green colour palette. I'll also add 2 awnings on either side of the house. That's so that the rain doesn't affect the window space and the little garden that I'm going to add in a minute. For now, I'm going to change the chimney stack to be a big red one. It looks okay, but I'll add some white bits on it too. To make the smoke come out the chimney, I simply put a campfire in there. Around the house, I'm going to add lots of red and green rose bushes. Some of them are going to be hanging from the roof tiles. The process now is going to be all about decorating the outside of the house. I want it to look really Christmassy. Right now it looks a little bit too plain. I want to have lots and lots of trees and other things outside. I should really change the weather to be snowy, but down here at void level, it never snows. And when I set the weather to rain, I don't even see the rain. That might be something to do with the shaders though, I'm not exactly sure. Now it's time to add a nice little fence all around the house. This is going to be a small garden space. I don't want to extend the area below the dirt and the snow. I kind of want to keep it at this level. If I go too far down with the garden and the house, I lose the sense of a cottage and it becomes more of a manor, and I don't really want that. I want a small cottage here in the snow. The fence is actually quite fiddly to edit. It doesn't fit nicely together just like the simple fence posts in Minecraft do. You absolutely have to use the gourd and the GUI tool if you want it to look a certain way. But once the fence is sitting nicely, I shouldn't have to edit it too many times. If you put anything next to the fence though, it does make a hole in the fence, so you need to edit it again. Once I put the fence in, I go around with the green gourd to turn them into entities, and then I paste in the design using the GUI tool. Simply done. Now I'm going to add some candy canes on the edge of the house. This simple red and white striped one looks pretty good for a candy cane. It's not exactly perfect, which does disappoint me, but it's the only option I have right now. I'll also go around the house and add lots more bushes and trees. I want it to look very bushy and natural. I really don't want to add any more of those spruce trees. They look a bit sickly with that black colour in it. I'm not sure what's happened there. The Yuushya Mod has displeased me with these blackened trees. But they do look very good in the normal game, to be honest. I don't know why they're black. So instead of adding more of those, I'm going to add some more oak trees. There's a couple of sizes you can use with the Yuushya Mod. The big tall ones are quite easy to install. They don't affect nearby blocks too much. But some of the larger oak trees can go in the blocks that you've already built and make an incredibly bad mess. If I were to place one of those oak trees very close to the house, it would absolutely destroy everything inside. So I don't want that. As you can see, I'm placing a few bushes around the front, and it's also destroying the fence. It makes it very difficult to work with this fence sometimes. I kind of want to just destroy it, but I need it. I need the fence. It looks really good. At the front of the house, I want a staircase access, because I think that looks really neat. So I found this mud brick one with the banister. That looks amazing. I add a few more trees around the side, and now it's starting to look like a really cozy Christmas cottage. Not yet, but nearly. I'm going to test out putting a little window box for flowers. It does mess with the fence again, I'm sad to say, and it doesn't really look good, so I'm probably not going to add that little window box. So I've got to destroy the whole thing, put the fence back as it was. Let's take a minute to think before I place a little snowman as a pet. He can walk around the house and be my friend. Inside the house, I'm going to add a little sofa and some bookcases. For some reason, the sofa is pointing at the front door, so if you're getting scared at night, you can sit and watch for the burglars. I'll add a few plant details and poke a little hole in towards the bedroom. Inside the bedroom, I'm going to add this wonderful red and white Christmas mattress, fix the windows up real quick, and then add some red and white blinds. I'll put them in the living room space too, and put them checkered, because it's a little bit different. In the bedroom, I'll add a TV and a little book on a shelf. That looks nice. I'll put another shelf there with a cactus on top, and another shelf with some kind of old record player that's going to go on top in a minute. I'm also going to put some cushions on the floor there. Everything looks really cool in the bedroom. It's not exactly the biggest bedroom in the world, but it does look really neat. Hey, what was that? I think it was the snowman. He's accessed my house. I don't like that. Inside the living room space, I'm going to add a sofa, a little radiator to keep it warm because it's freezing cold outside, a radio on the shelf, and a little fish tank. That snowman is in the house. He's just taking a little stroll look. He's messed up my fence completely, and now he's spinning around in a circle because he's a crazy guy. Look, you can see him here. He's sneaking around. I like it. He's building up the snow. That's pretty good. He's destroyed the fence. And then what? He goes in the house? I did not allow access to the house while I'm currently building it. I'm messing around in the bedroom right now, and he's just waiting. He's waiting as my friend. I don't agree with that, Mr. Snowman. Why are you in here? Why have you messed up the floor with your snow? Get out. I need to put radiators in this room. It's an absolute disaster. The snowman's just there, poking holes in the fence. I told you the fence was hard to edit, so guess what? You dead. Get out of here. Thank you. Now let's fix up the fence. I am hating on the snowman there. It was my choice to have the pet, but he has left some rather nice snow patches. I kind of agree with that. Forever in my heart, Mr. Snowman. Thank you for your efforts. But you did ruin the fence. That's easy to fix, but the snowman would always be accessing that fence area, messing it up, because he's pooing out snow, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do after that disaster is start working on adding leaves to the house. It needs to be very Christmassy. And I think the more green leaves and green things that I add to this red and brown house, the better. If you've liked the build so far, subscribe. Also send me a comment. I'm very interested to hear your feedback. I want to have oak leaves all over the roof as well, because I think nature is really taking hold here. It's brilliant. I added another tree to the side there, lots more bushes at the front, and it almost looks like I've added too many trees. But I still think it's rather natural, isn't it? This is how it would be in some German or Swedish town. I'm going around adding a few more berries where I can find the space. It's almost at the point where it's finished. But I really want to change the chimney stack. It's got to be red and white checkered, like I said. It's got to match the candy canes. That's also a bit difficult to edit because I need to use the GUI tool, make sure everything's in place properly. Because the red and white tiles are different, I have to use the GUI tool in order to change them so they look exactly like a line. I'm quite satisfied with that. It looks like a fairly natural but odd roof. The chimney stack looks good. It's very Christmassy. So let's change it to night mode. Let's see what my house looks like at night. It's not as bright as I would have imagined. I need to add some lanterns round the side and make sure everything's nicely lit up at night time too. There's lots and lots of different choices for lights. The one I want is the red oriental lantern. That hangs lovely on the building. It doesn't look very alpine, but they're very Christmassy, aren't they, those lanterns? They use them at Chinese New Year, but I'm sure people use them at Christmas too. I think they look really good. I'm going to hang them on the awnings, and I'm also going to stick them on some of the candy canes too. I want the house to be very bright and lit up. I'm just going to remove some of the snow that the snowman left, and then add a few more lanterns. Each candy cane can have a lantern, and there's a lot on the roof stacks too. I think my house is coming on. It's looking very Christmassy now. It's not finished though. There's a lot I want to add to this, but I don't have the mod. I spent a while searching for Christmas trimmings, 1.20.4 mods, and thankfully Macaw has the answer. Macaw's Holidays. It has so many different block choices here for Christmas. All these snowy grasses and ferns. I can't believe I didn't find this till just now. It has white garlands, orange candy canes. You know, I'm going to change that candy cane in a minute. It's got some snowman ornaments. They're not going to ruin the house, are they? It's also got some decorations I can put up. It's got everything a Christmas builder could need. Why didn't I see this before? Never mind, let's go around the house and use them. Let's make it Christmassy now. And the first thing to do is to change all of those candy canes to look like proper candy canes, not just some red and white striped blocks that don't match. They look really good now. I'm tempted to change the roof, but those candy cane blocks only have a certain use, and that's the candy canes. Round the front of the house, I'm going to add this white garland and a little wreath above the door. This looks really Christmassy now. I'm very happy. Look, some of the things you can add are twinkling lights, just like Christmas. This is looking beautiful now. I'm going to add some more of those white grasses and stick in some presents by the door. They've even got a little Grinch snowman. He looks pretty cool. In the house, I'm going to stick in a little Santa hat, and outside I'll put a balloon on the fence because that looks neat. I'll add a few more presents, put some jingling bells on the tiles over there, and then add some more of these lights. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving these Christmas lights. This is really Christmassy. It's exactly what I wanted. I'll put a sled and some more presents over there. Make sure there's lots of presents and a tree around the back. I want it to be really, really Christmassy. I'm very happy with this mod. It's exactly what I was looking for. A lot of the new decorations are going in nicely. I'm just tinkering with the roof because I want to have loads of lights all around the edge. I think this is looking super. I'm like a kid in a candy shop right now, trying to find the right block to go on my house. There's so many choices, it's almost a bit too blinding. But look, I'm going to put in a red Christmas tree at the front. That's looking really good. Fix the fence again because I've had a few troubles with that. I'll put in a few presents around the side. I've also added some fireflies there too. They add some life to the side of my house. At the front of the build, I'm going to add some more presents on the side and some grasses. I think Santa's visiting and he's doing a good job. A green Christmas tree at the front also looks amazing. I don't want to add too many Christmas trees. I think 2 is enough. Maybe 1 in the house could be good too. I don't think I add that actually. I had a few garlands and some presents on the floor. Remember, this is not a huge house, so there's not many spaces to work with, but I think it's good with some stockings there and a present near the door. This is looking like a Christmas wonderland. I'm very happy with this build. If you've liked it, you're welcome to subscribe. I'm going to put some decorations on the trees because I feel that even though the trees are nice and green and beautiful, they do need to have some baubles. We need to put some decorations on those trees, and there's lots of choices of baubles, red, green, yellow, all the colors. And I want to make sure it's nicely bright on all of those little trees because this is my Christmas house. And at the time of the recording, tomorrow is Christmas Day. Everyone's going to be getting with their families, having dinner, and a wonderful Christmas time. I've got a little snowman there at the side, look. He's a very happy dude. All the trees have got nice decorations on them, and my build is coming to an end. This has been a really fun mini project to do. I'm just going to quickly add some icicles to the rest of the house, and it's done. Those spruce trees are hideous, but they look a lot better when there's some ornaments on there, don't they? I think it looks nice and sparkly now. Here are some final shots of my build. Thanks for watching. If you want to, subscribe and leave a comment. I'm very interested to hear back from you. I'm Ikkcicle, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next time.